What up, what up? I don't even have my mic over here. What up, what up? Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Happy 250th anniversary of this beautiful nation. We are under attack, though. We're under attack as citizens. We're under attack as a whole. And I fear if we don't wake up, stop falling susceptible to these antics where the elites keep us pitted against one another so that we don't group up and revolt. Because what's happening, man, I struggle with, I don't understand how everyone is just so docile. How everyone's not rebelling. Shout out to peeps like Tommy G. You know what I mean? I know he's from over in the UK, but I don't usually get into foreign politics and stuff, but it's atrocious what's happening, and it's by design. It is by design. I don't have a script for you guys today. It's the 4th of July. I don't expect too much for fireworks and everything, but I felt like hanging out. I was gonna go live at like 3:30 this morning. I was ready to rock and roll. I was ready to go, baby, because we've wasted so much time on stupid shit. I just want to get back on the grind and back in the groove of, headed forward. So happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. Thank you, everyone that carved out some time to hang out with your boy, Joey Meatball, on this nation's beautiful holiday. I'll cheers to that. Salute with you. So happy 4th of July on that. I do have some videos lined up for you. We'll hang out in the chat. Shout out to Kitten in the chat. Moderator for holding it down by herself while we're under attack. While we're under attack, she held it down over there so I could focus on what I'm doing. It's unfortunate. It is an unfortunate situation. I'm not going to dig up old things, but, it plagued me for 2 months, over 2 months, more than 2 months, while I already have other devastating stuff going on. So it is nice to have a clean slate and to move away from that nonsense, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it is a valid lesson learned. So all is not entirely lost. So we live and we learn. I do have some videos lined up for you. I do have updates for Tyler Robinson, Reckless Ben, the Lego Saga, and I have been keeping a close eye on the corruption that is going on in Utah, because I do stick to my original, not thesis, but my original guess, because I'm brain farting and can't think of the correct word. But I do still believe that the Reckless Ben, Bricks and Minifigs, Lego Saga, the American Fork Police, it's so hard for me to not say pork. That's why I kind of pause on that. I pause on the fork because my brain just automatically goes to pork. But the American Fork Police have a shitstorm on their hands, which they don't care because the taxpayer is going to be the one footing the bill. I don't know if you guys caught it before, and in the middle of all the bullshit, my videos were getting attacked or whatever, I did put out a video about the American Fork Police and how people had come to the monthly meeting, the town meetings, and expressing concern with what their police department is doing. And, I take it with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? Because all this stuff seems very cemented into that entire jurisdiction that it is heavily cemented in with Mormons and SDL. I have been dug into this stuff for a long time and only recently learned through the Charlie Kirk investigation that the Midwest is all heavily intelligence agencies and the mind control shit. I do have some stuff at the end of the show about the MK Ultra files and some things that are going on currently with all of that tie back to the Charlie Kirk assassination, the JFK assassination. There's another one recent one that they mentioned, but these school shooters and all of that. So the fact that Congress is actually discussing this stuff, I think, is monumental for a guy whose channel is named PSY-OP News. But we'll dig into it. I don't want to disclose too much. I have some tabs open for you. Nothing too curated. We're just gonna hang out and play some videos and enjoy this beautiful holiday. You know, one of the only days during the year that they give us middle class folks a day off to hang out with our friends, and we should be our friends and family, and we should be grateful for that. How dare us sheep, us cattle, expect much more than that, So God bless, happy 4th of July, all of that shit. Cheers to you folks. I would usually cut the feed for this, but it's a holiday. You know what I mean? Cheers with you. All right, moving on. It's just Coca-Cola. That's all. That's all, folks. All right, so let's get this party started. It feels so nice to not have the weight on my shoulders of, you know what I mean, dealing with that, all that stuff. It's just crazy. It's unfortunate because I am a good team player, just not when the team is... Anyway, let's jump into it. I usually open the show with this, man. Man, how did we get through this without playing a little bit of this still, man. This still is the absolute shit. Yeah, man, I'd rather have a small crowd of good people than a large crowd of anarchists any single day, you know what I mean? And any day. All that shit. Let me turn this down. I do have some news to get into regarding Tyler Robinson. It seems to it's been that's been slow. I do fear for this kid's life. All right, I do have some notes to pull up. Man, the rhetoric that's been coming out, that like a sudden shift in the rhetoric surrounding this trial, where they have all of this security now. They're worried about... I'm like, they're going to kill this kid. They are mentally preparing people, saying that there's threats and all of this. Nothing has changed, you know what I mean? But suddenly increased security and, you'll see. Let me play the videos. I know I hate waiting for people to play the video, but it's only been... We're 9 minutes into the live. Like I said, not expecting too many people, as it is a holiday, and as we got rid of the friendly bunch. So let me pause this audio here. I do have some videos lined up for you. We're going to start off with an update on the Tyler Robinson trial for the assassin of Charlie Kirk. This is literally why I do not... Let me pull up my notes because I'm going to miss important stuff. But this is literally why I don't believe in capital punishment. Because this kid is literally the definition of patsy. Let me see what... I don't even know what you guys are seeing. You guys are still... I got you guys still on this cam over here. Sorry about that. I'm eating noodles. What up? I read Chaos, Manson's background with MK Ultra. I have something relative to that towards the end. You can see the tabs up there, man. We're just going to get through these tabs, and then we're going to go eat. I got some lobster cooking in the other room. You guys have no idea. It's a good day for your boy. But these are some important updates that I do want to get on the record. I was looking at my channel. I only have 20 videos on my channel, so I try not to beat myself up about it. I lost a whole 3 subscribers with that fiasco, so we know exactly who those 3 are, because you know Anka is not going to allow those 3 channels to stay subscribed to me. But anyway, and you can see that stuff in the back end, but anyways, it's dumb. Glad to be beyond it. Back to what matters, the Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson investigation. Like I was saying, this is exactly why. Shit, can you guys hear that fan? My bad, I usually turn that off. Man, I hope you guys, I know you guys can hear that fan. Sorry about that. There is some movement on the Tyler Robinson trial, but check out how they're like jacking up security, and this is all a narrative. This is a narrative. Nothing has changed, but they're changing the narrative to jack up security so that they can create the facade that this kid somehow gets killed during transport to court or some other patsy. They have to get rid of this kid because none of the evidence is going to stand up in court. So they cannot allow this trial. This is just a pre-trial hearing, motions hearing, but they can't allow this trial to come to its fruition because, just the evidence and all that, I find myself so perplexed that we have so many people in our nation that are, not for lack of better words, but just to be blunt, just dumb. Just dumb. They just take everything that is spoon fed to them, and they have no ability to think critically, and it just mind boggles me. I didn't realize how good of a school system that we went to as kids until I got out here with the general public, and I was like, oh man, these fucking people are Neanderthals. But anyway, sorry. I know I hate when I have to wait for the video. I'm sorry. I'll talk some more shit after this. Let's get moving forward on the Tyler Robinson pre-trial hearing regarding the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Let's play this one, and then we'll bullshit some more. There's nothing urgent today. Let me roll this to the beginning. Almost fucked up over here. Sorry. It's 4th of July. We're gonna have some drinks.
Security is gonna be elevated in this case. Probably the most secure trial I've ever covered in the past 25 years.
The courthouse in Utah County is getting ready for a high-stakes preliminary hearing in Tyler Robinson's murder case. Thanks for watching 2 News at 6 tonight. The parents of Charlie Kirk and his widow, Erica, will attend next week's preliminary hearing for accused assassin Tyler Robinson. But they may not be the only high-profile people to attend. Chief Investigative Reporter Wendy Halloran is here with more tonight. Wendy.
Well, Heidi, the high-profile nature of this case, court security is under tight wraps to make sure nothing gets compromised that could jeopardize the safety of the public and court proceedings that entire week.
Security in this case is going to be the highest of any trial in any courtroom in this country.
Charlie Kirk's parents, Robert and Catherine Kirk, and his widow, Erica Kirk, are set to face their son and her husband's accused killer in court. Utah County prosecutors will call witnesses in an effort to establish probable cause, meaning enough evidence to bind the case over for trial. Without a doubt, court security is expected to be tight. So much so, Utah Court Security Director Chris Palmer declined to comment. I was told to ask the Utah Utah County Sheriff's Office, which provides security for the courthouse in Provo. Sergeant Ray Orman respectfully declined an on-camera interview, but said, "I can say that security will be at a high level and very tight during the court proceedings." To put it into perspective,
Tyler Robinson is being transferred to and from court in an armored vehicle. That's not what you typically see.
Nima
Yeah.
Rahmani is a nationally recognized trial
So,
lawyer,
like,
a
they're-
former federal prosecutor, president of West
Why
Coast
isn't
Trial
this
Lawyers.
fucking
I
button
asked him for
working?
insight.
So they're amping up the rhetoric. If I was this kid, I mean, I would have been lost the ability to not shit my pants back in September of 2025, but I would really be shitting my pants watching this narrative unfold because they are prepping the public for this kid to be publicly assassinated, just like Charlie Kirk. And that's just what it looks like to me. I mean, call me a fucking conspiracy theorist, but I mean, I think that's like a badge of honor these days. That just means we're paying attention and you're dumb. Oh, shit. Wrong button. Wrong
into
button.
what is the first major evidentiary stage of this case.
And I mentioned earlier, this is only the 20th video, I think the 5th live that I've done. So give a guy a break. You know what I mean? I have 20 videos on my channel, 5 of which are these lives. You know what I mean? So I know it looks like we got a good outfit put together over here, but I'm just starting off. You know what I mean? I just give it a good swing, you know, up front, and let's move forward. So holler at your boy.
Case.
Oh, that silence, though.
Obviously, there's going to be
That
video
silence,
evidence
though.
of Charlie Kirk being assassinated.
That
as
was
well as
awful.
Tyler Robinson's actions before and after the alleged shooting. Of course, we're going to hear DNA evidence, ballistics
Yeah, that's
experts. We're gonna
right,
hear
melanistic.
electronics evidence, including from Tyler Robinson's cell phone and some of the admissions that he made on Discord.
What's more, the video recorded statement
Yeah, I definitely fear for that kid's life. Like, in one way or another. In one way or another, that kid is a sitting duck. But this is why I have always been firmly against capital punishment, because we've seen them get it wrong before. If there are any chances that you're putting the wrong person to death, that's a flawed system. And the failure rate on that, to me, is way beyond the threshold of, okay, if we execute one innocent person, we got to scrap that whole situation. And we've proven time and time again that the legal system is flawed, that it can be weaponized. We're seeing that now more than ever before, how weaponized the legal system is. We see how many flaws there are in this case and how it's being, these cases are being held in the court of public opinion rather than in the court of law, where it belongs and where people's lives and their livelihoods are on the line. And everything's been politicized. Everything has been media, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but played out in the media rather than in the courts, but dramatized, if you will. It's a crazy, crazy world that we're living in. Let me get on with this. What video do I have next for you? But yeah, Charlie Kirk's parents' widow to attend preliminary hearing as court tightens security, and Erica Kirk is involved in the tightened security. Oh, she's afraid for her life, which is why she's going. I don't know why, anyways, why she needs to be here. I mean, I can't say that she doesn't have a right to be there, but if she's so afraid of everything, why are you going there? But, yeah, just the rhetoric, when you see the rhetoric change like that, man, it does not look good for the survival of this kid. Kitten in the chat says, same with Tupac and Michael Jackson, both alive and hidden. Oh boy, we're going down some rabbit holes in the chat. Come over here. I mean, you say what you gotta say. I mean, I don't. I have looked into some of the Michael Jackson stuff. I don't know that I have gone that deep, but I wouldn't be surprised if at most of the things you would tell me about celebrities and Hollywood and all that dark demonic bullshit. But let's jump on to the next. We don't gotta be here all day. I just want to get you guys up to date. Here's another one. Tyler Robinson appears in court for evidentiary hearing. Arguments heard over barring media from court. That's not a good one. That's not a good one either. Man, they are lining this kid up. Oh, why is the volume down?
Robinson's attorneys are sparring with the state over.
Hold on.
In an ABC4 News update for you now, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk was back in court today. Tyler Robinson's attorneys are sparring with the state over evidence and media access. ABC4's Bayan Wang has been following this for us all day. He joins us live here in studio. Bayan, a lot happening in court today.
Yes, Sarah, that's right. Robinson's attorneys are fighting to delay the preliminary hearing scheduled for May while attempting for a second time now in this case to have cameras banned from court.
I am a trial consultant based out of California.
Dr. Brian Edelman, the newest face to appear in the case against Tyler Robinson.
But primarily we'll focus on the extent and nature of the coverage in this case.
The social psychologist introduced by the defense was asked to weigh in on media coverage as Robinson's team once again tries to eliminate cameras
Yeah, I
from court.
agree.
A lot
Sis,
of the
it
prejudicial
does
content that's come out so far.
all roads
that you see
lead
in the
back
media and
to
keeps being
the
reproduced
Epstein
in
files.
social media and
all roads lead back to the Epstein files only because that's this group of people. You know what I mean? That's their lifestyle. That's what they do. You know how it is when you move around a group of people, that becomes your lifestyle, And that, are you kidding? That those folks are demonic, pedophilic, satanic. They're what do you call it? Cannibalistic. But anyway, if you're not paying attention to all of that stuff, I'm not going to explain it for you.
television newscast is what was initially released in this press conference.
On this?
And there's a lot of prejudicial
Anyway,
details that
I'll
are
just
distributed in
play
there where it's, a very long press conference. We're literally reading text messages from the defendant to his.
Anyway, that's just the evidentiary hearing for Tyler Robinson. But the reason that I'm playing this stuff is because of the rhetoric that's being used that is alarming to me. It's been quiet in that camp or whatever, but they're starting to increase the rhetoric, and that's that's the stuff you need to pay attention to, because they are prepping the public so that the public doesn't react when they do the thing they're hypnotizing you over. That poor kid is cooked, man. He has a 0% chance of surviving this thing one way or another, and that's, he does have some involvement, it appears, but he obviously didn't act alone. So that was all I got for you on the Tyler Robinson thing. The reason I started covering Bricks and Minifigs and Reckless Ben is because this is occurring in Utah. It is under the same judge that is overseeing the Tyler Robinson case, Judge Tony Graff, in the American Fork Police. That whole saga, I brought that to you in this community before anyone else before it really blew up and went viral. I was the first one or the only one to bring that to you guys. I have been following that closely. Ben has been under a gag order, so there hasn't been a lot of news or updates coming out of that camp that are worth bringing up in a live or making a video for it. But there has been some movement on the case. I figured I would combine it with another topic, you know, because there's not a lot of movement on either of those cases. But let's check it out. Let's check this out. I highly recommend this channel, Legal Mindset. He highly presentable, no fluff, no BS in his videos. Go check him out.
Bricks and minifigs paying out reckless Ben and damages day after day. We're going to get at today on the Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. And today I want to react to a video that actually asks a lot of really good questions, legal questions, and other practical questions by Lego Empire entitled Bricks and Minifigs Just Agreed to Pay Reckless Ben. Very good video, so we're going to review that today. Let's get into it today with Reckless Ben and what's going on.
I can't show you the actual video itself because it is, of course, on its Patreon. Ben in this video gives us a lot of good information. He goes over how his legal team and Bricks and Minifigs have been negotiating during this case.
I think the negotiations as a whole have been going on essentially for the last couple weeks. I think that in this case, it probably even started before Ben had a lawyer, which is probably some of the problem here. Is Ben and Bricks and Minifigs probably started negotiating without everybody in place. But the question is, for how long have Ben's lawyers or professional mediators, how long have they been involved in this? We don't know how much Ben is actually listening to his lawyers and doing what they're telling him to do, or what Ben is doing, you know, if Ben is doing Ben and Ben wants to do things his way. And that's part of negotiations.
And at some point during these negotiations, Reckless Ben's team basically pushed for Bricks and Minifigs to pay damages for every day that Ben was under the temporary restraining order. And this is something I've actually been bringing up, and I said that I hoped that Bricks and Minifigs would pay Ben damages for what has gone on.
And that wouldn't be unreasonable. He's not allowed to create content. He's out there not making money, not profiting. Right now, he could be very profitable if he was making videos. Like, for example, look at my videos and other videos on this topic. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views.
And they are, man. This topic blew up astronomically. I brought it to you first. Never forget that. And I am going to make the case that this saga does, in fact, lead back to the Charlie Kirk trial with Tyler Robinson. We already have drawn the connection that it's the same judge, Judge Tony Graff, in the same county, and something is amiss in Utah. I mean, something is amiss in the United States, but with all the intelligence and military and everything over there in Utah, and the police, outright the American Fork Police saying we do things differently. I'm not going to get into the minutia of all of this case, but trust me, I follow every bit of it. I'm not going to waste your time. There's a lot of videos that have come out about there's a lot of litigation going on, but I'm interested in the overview. I'm interested in the corruption and how comfortable these cops are with the corruption and the prosecutor and the judge, and then we have to go above the judge to all the way up to the governor, because that whole and add all of the intelligence agencies. That's the heartland of intelligence agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the DEA, all of that. I'm telling you, this leads back to the Charlie Kirk investigation. That is why Charlie lost his life in Utah. So I have been closely following Utah news, corruption, and all of that. I do have some of that stuff on the tail end of this from X or Twitter, whichever you prefer. Let me shift over here to the chat, because I really haven't been spending too much time on the chat today. I do have a chat tucked away over here somewhere. All we got to do is move it onto the slide. Boom! Check out Joey Meatball. Check out Joey Meatball making shit happen. Little sis holding it down, number one, holding the crown. Melanistic in the chat. And I am cool with that. I didn't write that down. That just was off the top of the skull. I'm cool with that. I don't need all the drama. I don't need all the bullshit. You guys can jerk off to my video later on if you really need to. But let's jump back into this. I think we can move through these
So
tabs. If you're interested in the legal aspect of what's going on with the Bricks and Minifigs Reckless Ben saga, this is the channel that I recommend because he's not too hard on the eyes. He gets down to the point. There's no shenanigans. Let me like the video. I'm already subscribed. Check out Legal Mindset. I check him out now. He's kind of my first go-to on some of these nerdy topics. You know, he's not really in the what do you call it? The anyway, let's not get hung up on
Bricks and Minifigs just got exposed big time, and the evidence we have now today may point towards the fact that Bricks and Minifigs has
Legal
been
Mindset.
doing business like they have with Brian Mansell, Crystal Law, and Benjamin Gorman for
I just got
years.
so hungry.
And this is not just an isolated incident. This does not just happen once or twice.
You know, I just had the urge to just hang this shit up, turn it off, and go eat something because I'm like that. I'm like that. That made me snort. Diddy was there. Diddy was there. Fall Guy. Yo, shout out to Little Sis for holding it down over there. Shout out to y'all.
This might be an actual strategy Bricks and Minifigs uses when they conduct business. So we have multiple different cases to look at, and then once we go over
chilling with y'all, and I gotta just lay down 100 videos, you know what I mean? So let's just grind through this. Let's just get it done. But it's nice to not have no bullshit.
For each of them, I'll tell you what I think the overarching pattern may be from all three of these and what it says about Bricks and Minifigs as a whole. So, case number one, we of course have the Crystal Law Gorman Salem, Oregon case. Now, outside of Brian Mansell's collection being a factor in this case, what do we know about the actual franchisee in this? You know, Crystal, how she was treated in all of this, how the takeover actually happened.
I got a mute button over here.
This is corroborated by Ammon. I've seen him talk about this on different interviews, and he has basically said that Crystal violated the franchising agreement. She was behind on payments, behind on rent, behind on, you know, all these other things, and that basically gave Bricks and Minifigs the authority to come in and take it all over. So they basically show up and take everything, and they don't provide Crystal with an inventory list.
Happy Independence Day. Are my nieces within earshot? Since nobody's watching anyways, you know what I mean? It's just us chilling. Are my nieces in the room?
What they're taking or anything like that. They just take it all. And how they can do that is they're basically saying they forgive the debts that the franchisee, in this case, Crystal, owes them, but they'll take over all the inventory in the store. So they give a debt amount to whoever the franchisee is.
We're going to get them on the show
amount. I think I've seen numbers in like the hundreds of thousands. In Crystal's case, I'm not sure what the...
Hold on. We're going to switch things up. They aren't in there. Play on Roblox. All right, cool.
Exact number is, but basically Bricks and Minifigs presents a number and they say this is what you owe us to the franchisee, and in most cases I'd imagine it's too much for the franchisee to pay.
This is some of the shit I got
you can settle your
in the
debts with us,
because
or
we are on
we'll
the
forgive
Lego
all your
Saga.
debts if you just let us take over the store and all of the inventory.
All right, we don't. I'm sorry, I let that get carried away. We don't need to get into the saga. I go to Lego Empire for some of the updates. There has been some bullshit. This guy right here, certified POS, burying that company, but also exposing law enforcement, the Mormon Church, Latter-day Saints, intelligence agencies. Everybody is getting aired out because of this POS, who allegedly stole this business. Let me not recall incorrectly. There was something about the sons stole it from the father. I don't want to I don't want to be misleading, but yeah, this guy. They're doing damage control right now. They're paying Ben. I don't know if we got through that. Yeah, and the reckless Ben stuff. They're paying Ben per day for not for the gag order. But let's get through this. I just want to get it on the record. Where are we
Directed
at?
energy weapons and their effect on the brain.
Oh, we're
and
already
serious neurological symptoms
we're
known
already
as
on the tail end. If we're talking directed energy weapons, I find it. The name of my channel is PSY-OP News. I do follow all of the fringe stuff that everyone is too afraid of, being classified as a conspiracy theorist. I pay attention to all this stuff. If I think it's worthy of bringing to your attention, I will. This is worthy of bringing to your attention. I don't know what to make of all of it. During this administration, a lot of things are being released. It is up to us to have discernment to parse through all of these things as to what is real, what's not, what is being thrown in there intentionally, opportunistically, since all of these releases are happening. But I have some of these clips. The government is admitting to the whole MK Ultra. That's been declassified for decades. But it is now being looked at as the program that is getting these rogue assassins, the Trump assassins, the Charlie Kirk assassins, and the technology. That's what we're focusing on, is the technology, the algorithms, the things that are being used to program these kids to do school shootings, programming these kids to do public assassinations, political assassinations. We know that the government in the 60s and 70s did these experiments. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. We're on direct energy weapons. A year ago, 2 years ago, if you were paying attention to the wildfires in California, where all of that beachfront property was burned down, if you were paying attention to the wildfires in Hawaii, how all of that beachfront property was strategically burned down, and the conspiracy theorists said there's evidence of these directed energy weapons, and everyone said, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist, which just means that you're more intelligent than the general population. You're paying attention, and you're trying to warn these dummies, and they ridicule you with calling names. So I don't waste my time. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to tell these dummies that this shit is going on, but they want to know the score on the Knicks game so that they can burn down New York City rather than figure out who's controlling them and how to overcome it. But let's get into this directed energy weapon. We're finally talking about this in the mainstream, which I guess News Nation can be considered mainstream for YouTube.
Directed energy weapons and their effect on the brain.
Man, I
and
just got the
serious neurological
munchies.
symptoms
I got
known
some
as
Werthers
Havana
over
syndrome
here.
were primarily documented among American diplomats and intelligence personnel stationed
weed,
overseas, but now is the
Jack.
threat a domestic one
got some
too?
Werthers
and
in
could
here.
symptoms be linked to directed energy attacks?
The fucking Jolly
Remember,
Ranchers.
directed energy weapons are invisible weapons that
Yeah,
fire
buddy.
concentrated energy at the speed of light. We're joined now by Professor Emeritus of Neurology at Georgetown, Dr. James Giordano. He also served as a forensic neuroscientist on the original Havana cases. Great to see you, Doctor. Thank you so much for being here. So we've been covering this. It's scary when you hear about it happening to CIA officers overseas, people in the military, but have you seen any evidence of directed energy use here on American
Got to
soil?
Werthers.
There are several instances of individuals being.
I watched this whole video earlier. It's definitely worth giving a watch. I don't fuck with News Nation. I did, but then when they got Christopher Cuomo in there and all of that shit, I'm just like,
So I want to get your response
All
to
right.
this because we spoke
This
to
is
investigative journalist
acting.
Catherine Herridge recently, and
Let's
she
get
had
on.
this.
I got a lot of fucking. Well, it's not too much, but we're getting through it. The rest of this will be fairly
Titled
quick.
Mind Control and
Here's
Accountability,
the MK
uncovering the
Ultra
truth
slide.
of the CIA's MK Ultra project. The hearing was led by Florida
If you didn't
Representative Anna
know.
Paulina Luna, who highlighted the widespread destruction of files when the program eventually came to an end, telling us after what occurred is, quote, criminal in nature.
It's obviously horrifying. It's horrifying that this went unvetted, unchecked, and that there was no accountability.
On Capitol Hill Tuesday, Representative Luna spearheading efforts to uncover the truth about MK Ultra experiments, sharing that the CIA is working to declassify recently discovered files involving a forgery program, plus highlighting the widespread destruction of files.
This program, when it did end, the men who ran it did not cooperate with investigators. They did not come forward. They committed another crime. They destroyed evidence.
MK Ultra was a top secret.
So I don't know if Paulina Luna is going to be another one of these Marjorie Taylor Greenes. I don't trust anyone in politics. I do appreciate that there's being an effort made to release all this stuff. I automatically assume it's a distraction to get everyone's attention away from the Epstein files, the demonic shit that's going on. You guys think that Epstein is the only one with an island where girls are being trafficked to, where children are being trafficked to, where there's cannibalistic and ritualistic. They do all the ritual shit right in front of your face. They do it to your face and you people don't say or do anything about it. So could you imagine what is going on those islands? And then towards the end of this, I have something about the elites and their bunkers and everything. Because we are going to grind. We're going to get back on track. We have concluded our first investigation together. Our first investigation was our mods intentionally dividing the community, and you guys rode with me on that. We got to the bottom of it, and we have concluded without a shout of a doubt, with evidence, that mods are in fact intentionally dividing the community. So thank you for riding with me on that one, on our very first investigation. Very many more to follow, but we got that one in the books off the rip. Like the video and subscribe to my OnlyFans. Oh my God, we did not do this stuff at the top of the show. It's these glasses. I can't see shit. You expect me to read that? For all intents and purposes, this is all intended for entertainment purposes. Did we do this? Everything is alleged. Would never hurt myself or others. On PSY-OP News, we are just asking questions. New disclaimer. Parental advisory because of the swears and having the little nieces in the chat. Wow, that was cute. I must have been up late. You survived the 80s. Toughen up a little. Here we can think for ourselves and don't need. Anyway, we're moving past that. Like the video and subscribe to my OnlyFans. How did I not? Oh, I think I did the show backwards because of the Tyler Robinson thing. But anyways, what are we doing over here? What in the flip are we doing over here? You guys need me to get back to this video?
A legal experimentation program run by the CIA from 1953.
Oh, if you don't know about
1973.
MK Ultra
It was
by now,
designed to develop.
This is not the channel for you, so we're not going to go too further in that. But the fact that it's being talked about in Congress right now, along with the Charlie Kirk assassination, and they have mentioned the Kirk assassination in these hearings, the timing, excellent. I told you we were going to talk about Tommy G.
Yeah, you just did a video on some billionaire bunkers, right?
Mm-hmm. Which he started.
Who did you talk to?
He's from the UK, so I don't usually pay attention to that stuff. But what happens over here goes over there. What happens over there comes over here. He is a not advocate, but I can't think of the word, but he created a lot of social change over there. Now he's over here filming, making his money on these shows. But check this out. Tommy G left petrified about his show. He did a investigation on the elites in their doomsday bunkers. I have that on my list to do as a topic for, one of the topics for a show. I have a list for days of shows that I want to do, but I kind of got distracted with all this bullshit that I don't need. We will grind and we will build on our own. We don't need that. But yeah, this was one of the things on my list about these bunkers and why are they building these bunkers and where are they building these bunkers? Because I would like to know strategically on a map where the elite are building these bunkers, because I know that it goes back to. Anyway, let me play the clip and then I'll give my opinion on it. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you just did a video on some billionaire bunkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you talk to?
The guy's name was Ron Hubbard, not to be confused with L. Ron Hubbard of the Scientology.
Yo,
brand.
is he doing coke? Did you see that?
Autistic
Hold on.
savant, I would say that.
Hold on.
The guy's name was Ron.
Yo, Julian Dory's doing coke.
Who'd you talk to?
The guy's name was Ron Hubbard, not to be confused with L. Ron Hubbard of the Scientology
Whoa,
branch.
I didn't catch that when I recorded it.
Autistic savant, I would say that if what he's saying is correct about his credentials,
That's
he has like a engineering degree.
Yo, did you guys see that?
Physics degree and something else, and he's been upset.
Hold on, let me peep the chat. Yo, mountains, but hey, melanistic 80s, baby. Yo, did you guys just see fucking Julian Dory do a bump in front of Tommy G? That is wild. I didn't even catch it when I first went through this for the show.
Engineering degree.
Hold on.
His guy's name was.
Did a video on some billionaire
that's
bunkers.
wild. He's a health.
Yeah.
He's a health
Yeah, you
fanatic.
just did a video on some billionaire bunkers, right?
It all makes sense
Who'd
now.
you talk to?
The guy's name was Ron Hubbard, not to be confused with L. Ron Hubbard of the Scientology
Yeah,
branch.
I know
he's
that.
Kind of this autistic
Been there, done
savant,
that.
I would say that if what he's saying is correct about his credentials, he has like a engineering degree, a physics degree, and something else, and he's been obsessed with making bunkers for a while, and he's now the #1 bunker producer in the world. He's done them for Kim Kardashian, the Tate brothers, Zuckerberg, and then a bunch of people that signed NDAs with him where he can't talk about it. And he's also
Kardashians didn't sign an NDA.
It was for their show, and it was used as more of a set. It never even went underground. It was more of like a cool thing they could do for the reality show. But there was definitely, I think, a little bit of fear mongering in that episode. I don't know if everything, because he said half the scientists that developed the COVID-19 vaccine were in his office. Do you think those scientists are like, hey, I work for Pfizer, I just did the vaccine and I would love a bunker? Like, I just don't know. I feel like that stuff is more secretive. So maybe that was just good marketing. But he also said members of Trump's former cabinet. We see both Trump wants the bunker with the ballroom. Kushner wants a bunker in Albania. The bunker is the meta for the ultra powerful right now. And is it just like the next flex, the next Rolex, the next fancy car where, hey, you got your bunker, I got my bunker, it's cool? Or is there a more sinister awareness of what could happen because they're going to the Davos Commission or whatever they're going to?
It's hard for me.
So that was my point. Is it just a fashion? Everybody's got one, so I'm doing one. If you look into Mark Zuckerberg's bunker in Hawaii, they burned all these natives out of that area, and now Mark Zuckerberg and all the millionaires, billionaires are all, excuse me. I really am sorry for that. But the Hawaii fires, if you paid any attention to that, that ties into these direct energy weapons. They burned all these natives out of their land, and now all these billionaires are building their bunkers on that native land where they have burials and everything. There's some crazy shit going on in the world.
My head.
I try to
there's some sort of sinister
really
awareness, and then my
stay away
next
from a
thought
lot
goes
of
to-
it. But when it all starts tying together, then I feel like I got to share it with you. But let's get out of this one. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, I reprogrammed. I always reprogram the soundboard. I got some cool shit. Well, what I think is funny. I'm a dork, though. So what up, Melanistic? I remember seeing an interview with one of the top bunker company CEOs. Yeah, I think I saw that. Like he's got work for the next fucking 30 years or something. But yo, check out what I put on the soundboard just in case all these psychopaths come over from, the Enka network. But check this out. This is a car crash. Oh, I think I did it
They're
backwards.
making it laws where you can't drink.
Oh, so hold on.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving.
And then I put the car crash.
You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing.
I kept that one.
You shout like that, they put you in jail right away.
Right away.
No trial, no nothing.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Anyway, happy 4th of July. We're just hanging out. Is this one that we watched? Yeah, we watched it. You guys know where to find Julian Dory. Flock cameras, man. This is a big issue that's going on. People are not paying attention.
There is a war.
I put up a video about the bunker that's being built under the White House where we're paying for the ballroom, but that digital fortress that's being built underneath the ballroom that's being tied back to our greatest ally that you see on the thumbnail, that's our digital imprisonment that ties into these flock cameras and all of the other digital surveillance that's going on. This is one of our biggest nightmares with AI. Most people are oblivious to it. My sister would have saw I posted a interactive map on my Facebook today for flock cameras, so you know where they are and you know how to fight against them. There's a Fight Flock or some shit.org that I put out today on one of my socials, but look at this shit.
All around us every single day, which many people have never even heard of. It's a battle against authoritarian surveillance, and we, the people of this nation, and the world for that matter, are currently losing that war. Let me begin by describing the enemy, or at least one of them. Flock Group Incorporated is an American safety technology company headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, who specializes in the production of multiple devices, but chief among them, something called ALPRs, also known as automated license plate readers.
Yeah,
These
I'm not going to get into the
powered by
whole
their own
fucking
solar panels
documentary on
utilize
here,
proprietary
but I just wanted to share, if anyone was interested, this is an excellent video on the channel Upper Echelon. It sounds exactly like the voice from Audit the Audit. I don't know if it's the same guy, but it is like the same layout and everything. I watched the whole thing. I would definitely take a look at it. I think that I am able to post links on my videos afterwards. I think I'm out of YouTube jail. I did. I'm pretty sure I verified that on my last video. So, you know, the ringing must have got to somebody. What do we got? Utah.
Well, the video appears to show a man in handcuffs running out of this parking lot.
Hold on, lady. Hold on. Let me set up the video. Simmer down, chick. Utah court clerks ran government database to help escape ICE. So, yeah, like I told you, I have been keeping an eye on what's going on in Utah. But, yeah, these effing judges are out of control. Isn't it funny how sometimes I'll just flat out say cunt, but other times I'll be like, this effing, it happens.
Well, the video appears to show a man in handcuffs running out of this parking lot into traffic southbound on 2100 South. According to court documents, a car then pulled up here near the corner of 2100 South and 300 West, waved the man in before taking off. The video posted online then picks up with a pair of bolt cutters being used to cut those handcuffs. According to the Department of Justice, one of the defendants later reposted the video and bragged about the interaction on social media.
America in Utah 2026, cutting a handcuffed man free from federal agents is like a social media moment here. That couple in Salt Lake City posted a video of themselves, bragged about it in writing. 2 weeks later, 2 court clerks in Logan, Utah, ran a government database identifying every non-citizen in their courthouse and walked them through the maintenance exit. And one of them gave the surveillance camera the middle finger. This is the same state in the same month. 2 federal felonies, 1 shared belief. The law doesn't apply when your politics disagree with it.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's been happening more and more. But since I'm keeping my eye on Utah, since they've proven to be part of this apparatus that I am going to prove is tied to the Charlie Kirk assassination, I just had to give it a mention because there's definite corruption going on over there, widespread. Here we have some X posts. I'm just starting to really get on that platform and move around, but I figured I'd bring some of these posts your way. LDS is Latter-day Saints abuse. The Latter-day Saints are the Mormons. They are well established in Utah. There are documentaries that have come out that the U.S. government admits that our intelligence agencies recruit solely from the Latter-day Saints. So they have these colleges in Utah. So Charlie Kirk, his antenna should have been up that he was going to lose his life in Utah. He was very vocal about it because that area is very heavily populated with intelligence agencies, with these groups, these Mormon groups, these there's a lot of secret societies. All that stuff goes in the Midwest where nobody's around, nobody's paying attention. But the American Fork Police screwed up fucking with a YouTuber putting themselves on the map with the same judge that's overseeing the Tyler Robinson. They're like assassinating people out here. One of the American Fork cops says we do things differently. Like, this shit is unfolding. It's all tied together, and we just have to button it up and make sure all these people go down together. So that this Latter-day Saints. Why did I put this post up here? What do we got? Latter-day Saints. Oh, I should have notes over here. Legal Mindset, Forbes, Julian, Upper Echelon. Where's the other notepad? Anyways, we'll just go through it. So Latter-day Saints post. They have something down here. A memorandum of things to note. This is all right. We're gonna move on. I don't remember why I saved that. There's some corruption with the Latter-day Saints going on in Utah. That's no surprise. ABC, a conflict between a YouTuber and Bricks and Minifigs exclusive over Lego. Oh, I had some links saved for you. This Bricks and Minifigs shit has gone to Law and Order. It's gone to some pretty big mainstream networks, and I brought it to you guys first, so don't forget about that. So these X links, I don't even remember why I saved them. So that shit's not gonna work. There is a fucking video to play. Log in. Apparently I didn't log in. I'm not gonna do that in front of you guys. That didn't work out. Now we know for the next video. Fuck X links. I see people do this shit, and I'm like, yeah, we could cruise through that. Breaking Democrat corruption and scandals news. Utah Supreme Court justice quits in scandal over alleged affair with lawyer. I don't know why that's in there. That's fucking gay. KSL, they have been covering the Utah County Attorney's Office was found Friday to be in contempt of court. Oh, yeah, that's right. Violating the judge's pretrial publicity order. But the death penalty remains. This is absolutely nuts. This fucking case is absolutely nuts. Pardon my French, we cuss. If you survived the 70s and 80s and you're here watching this channel, pull up your skirt. If I say a curse word, cry me a river. Pull up your skirt. But anyways, this case, keeping a close eye on it, it's absolutely insane. Absolutely, this young man's life is over, one way or another. I personally would want to be put down, put out of my misery, rather than sit in a cage. It is dark. It's disgusting in there. It's an awful life to live. I wouldn't wish it on. I mean, there's a few people, but not sure what was there. You know what? I'm not a fan of the X posts. I'm not a fan of those. Utah. Anyone who had this plate or one like it is a traitor. Miss Craig. Did we give you a thumbs up over here? Yep. That's why I'm not logged in. That's why we're having a problem over here. I'm not logged in. But listen, we're not here to reinvent the atom bomb or any of that shit. I'm here to share with the people that I know the shit that's going on that they should be concerned with. I'm not here to fight with some wannabes. You know what I'm saying? It's not that type of party. It is really not that type of party. Who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why? Let's stick to that. So that's what I got for you fine folks. That's what I had lined up. Nothing too insane, but I did want to get some airtime. I do have to get some videos on the channel. We're only this will be 21, which means we got at least 79 to go before we even lift our head up. But it ought to tell you something if we encountered such a force in our early beginnings. You know what I mean? It means we're doing something right. So make sure you like the video, please, if you're here. It looks sad on my channel. I'm cool with the low views. I'm cool with the low likes, as long as I got solid people in my camp and none of that one eye closed bullshit. We're going to prevail no matter what. So stay tuned, stay in there, stay with me. I promise you, I'm more resilient than these people. I'm not going to hold you. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday to this beautiful nation. I'm trying to hang in there, America first. I got family over here, beautiful nieces and everything. So happy 4th of July. I was hoping they were around so I'd give them a little lesson about why we even celebrate this holiday, because most of these dummies out here don't even know, man. I should play some of those videos for you where they go out in public and record these girls, ask them simple questions, and they look like absolute Neanderthals. But we are a little bit higher, just a tiny bit higher IQ here. Not a whole bunch, but we are above the nonsense that they got going on over there. we'll take the lower count. We will take it in stride and continue to move forward. That's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen, today. Happy 4th of July. I hope you guys got a chance to spend some time with some loved ones, do something something entertaining, see some fireworks. I know the nieces are going to see some fireworks. That's all I got. I don't like to ramble. That's all I got. I felt compelled to get a live out today. We're gonna get some lives on the. We're gonna get some videos on the channel, and we're gonna sidestep the nonsense and just keep plowing forward. So thank you for joining me as we grow the channel, as we get better at operating the platform and staying informed and moving forward. Thank you for joining me. So that's all I got for you fine folks today. Love you. God bless. Happy 4th of July. God bless America. I gotta say it. Hold on, I gotta change screens. I just have to say it.